Hi, welcome back to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie. I'm your guide into the world of the Chinese language and culture. I'm a native Chinese speaker. As you can hear, that my English is not that fluent, and I'm, spending my life like half there, half here, like living in bilingual environment all the time. So I have this binocular vision, and that I want to share. If you're interested to know how the other culture express about the objects, or the meanings, the senses, the connections, or like the way they make sense of the world, then this is the show for you. And thank you for your time. How we did it is we repeat what we learned yesterday, just one phrase, one expression, and then today we're going to have a new one. Yesterday we have this day after day expression, and there's nothing fancy over there. And we have since we have been talking about time and using this months and day expressions a lot, so I've been continuing with this streak. 日积月累. So we have both the sun and the moon here. So the sun in Chinese, because day and night, that's one day, so that's daily. And then moon, which came from the image of the moon with the cloud covering the middle section of this crescent moon, it becomes monthly, right? That's universal. We can see that. Then 积 and 累, both words actually express similar concept, which means you keep something, you're accumulating, and it grows bigger. So both of them got the roots in the daily activities of the agriculture lives. So this part, we have seen the part with the wood, right? So it's just a cross with the two canopies below. That's the wood sign. And this one with a sideways stroke, short one to cover the rest of the wood, is a signifier to say, oh, this is a crop. So instead of just a generic plant, this is a edible plant. We have this on the top. Then the right side is 知. 知 is like a measurement of unit. It simply means one. Okay, on that count, Chinese language is more adaptable to its agriculture-based living, that we have this unit for different types of objects. So smaller objects, bigger objects, or fluid or solid, like all that got their own unit counts. I mean, characters to tell you what is that. So this particular unit, 知, we can count it. We can use it to count as a unit for like chickens or pigs, small farm animals. We use this word on it. By itself, it's pronounced as a 知, and when it comes to this word, it becomes 积. Still have the vowel in there, but totally lost the consonant. And we, together, it simply means when you grow something, you have your crops, right? And then you have your crops, and then you accumulate your crops when it ripes, and you harvest them. And this with the crop sign and with the sound together simply means you accumulate, you keep this, you keep accumulating this, okay? And 累, similar concept, but visually expressed a little bit different. So this part, when you have this sign, it simply means something textile, something related to thread, something you can use it as a rope to bind things together. And the top part, okay, so we have a block, and then we have a cross in the middle. So compared with this sun, we have one horizontal line. So this is a block, and it's more like a flatter block. And then you have this cross in the middle. That means field, farm field especially, because you probably have seen the pictures of farms in the in the East, when farms are cut into much smaller segments, and it's more like a manual labor intensive kind of farming that really goes along with the terrain, the shape of the terrain. So it's like from the ancient times, the farms are cut into pieces to to distribute among different families or farmers. So that's probably why, like, when we have like a space, a field, and you cut it, right? That's the expression for farm field. But over here, it's actually a sound maker, because by itself it pronounced as tian. It doesn't sound anything to do with lei, right? It's too far away to even be a sound maker. But actually, it's a simplified version of another word that got 3 of this. Imagine this triples, and when things, the same image triples in Chinese, we put it in 1 on the top and 2 at the bottom. So this kind of 1, 2 structure is more stable, right? We don't have this 1 and 2 like that. Well, we probably do. I'm not sure, but mostly it's 1 on the top and 2 at the bottom. So you have 3 of this field box with a cross in the middle. So that word pronounced as lei, or no, lei. So here, I mean, that word was never occurred in my daily life. So you can tell I just check it up. That's why this by itself, just one of the 3 blocks over there, extracted out to signify the sound as something lei, right? And altogether, it means something related to farm, I guess, farming, and have the ropes bind things together, stacking up. So that's how farms manage their crops. When they harvest, things are bind into one unit. I'm sure they have some unit of like a full weight or unit or volume of something, and then they have all this accumulate together, stacking up. That's how. So ji and lei, just 2 ways of expressing you're accumulating, you're stacking things up. And this structure is a common meaning construction, which we talk about. So we have the time here, right? Either it's daily or monthly, it's a frequency. So we have on the 1st and the 3rd position talking about the frequency. And then on the 2nd and the 4th position, we'll talk about accumulating. But 2 characters coming from 2 different images, 2 ways of expressing the same concept of things are stacking up or kept. We keep accumulating something. And then so plus the time frequency over there, right? So we repeat the same idea. So the first 2, 日积 and 月累, actually they are talking about the same thing. So frequency plus accumulating act together simply means accumulating, right? So I call it incremental growth or accumulating. So that's the similar English concept. And this is highly valued in, I mean, this is how people lived before, right? You accumulate over time, whatever, like wealth or your crops, whatever you want to grow, you accumulate over time. You're not going to get it at once, one big chunk. No, things come in, trickle down, no, trickling in. So you have this incremental growth concept. So here I want to show you a calendar of next year, January 2021. You see, we have year in the front and then month after. This is a little bit more topic too. Like Chinese, we mark things in numbers. So January is just month 1. We don't complicate ourselves, our lives unnecessarily with a different word for each month, like a January. It's totally different from February. You have no clue connection. You have to memorize that, right? For us, just month 1, month 2. How logical is that? Okay, and then, well, these are the, the cultural part. I'm not going into detail, but there is old calendar way of marking every 60 years. It's one cycle. And then, the months also have a certain marking to use the old expression to say the same thing as the numerical way. And then this is like a counting from the establishment of 1949's CCP founded China. So it's the 73 year after that year. And then this calendar I want to show you, the rest of them are the same. So we have Sunday here, right? All the way. And you can see, wow, this is number 4 and number 5 and number 6. So we call Sunday, literally. So this is the sun here, means Sunday, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, we don't bother ourselves with extra words. We just mark it with numbers. And this 4, 5, 6. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. When I'm thinking in terms of which day of the week, I think in numerical terms. So 1 all the way to 7. And I mean, Sunday is the 7th day. Then, okay, so here we have the top digital numbers are the same as the Western calendar, but then we have this Chinese characters below it to tell you what on the lunar calendar it will look like. And so it's a different, you can see the markings here. It's a different number marked below it. For example, like this one is 3, right? This is 3 instead of 5. So because the two calendars doesn't sync, like almost all the time they don't sync. But here the green letters means we have a 24 timers, like how to say, milestones, 24 milestones throughout the year that's based on the lunar, the agricultural activities. So this is simply tell you this is a small chill or small coldness, and then we have big coldness. So minor coldness, major coldness, basically. It tells you this is the coldest time of the year, which is in January. Making sense, right? That's how we feel. Instead of December is the coldest, January normally is the coldest. And then we have this Nian, and then we have a minor Nian. So actually before Chinese New Year, the major Nian, the main Nian, we have a minor Nian ahead of it, like 7 days ahead of it. So the February 1st will be the next year's spring festival. So Chinese New Year will happen February 1st in next year. So this is the calendar I want to show you. And this is simply World Leprosy Day. So this is like also, Chinese connection to the world, like whatever the worldly events are also going to be marked on here. And then these are some smaller, markers of, according to the lunar calendar, what season it marked over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed the show today and learned something about Chinese time markings and how we express incremental growth. See you next time.